Our philosophy on sodding contracts is the same as with all of our services. Our emphasis, in order of importance, is safety. The safety of our staff, our customers, and even passers-by must always come first. Quality of results. We pride ourselves as the premier lawn care company, and that means that our lawns must be the best, consistently. Service. When we make a promise, we keep it. Well, Mother Nature sometimes interferes with our plans, but we do our best. Competitive pricing. Our pricing will always be competitive. As a general rule, we recommend making full use of any resources already there. For example, if there is sufficient topsoil, we will not recommend adding more. Typically, a contract for sodding as a means of lawn recovery will consist of killing the vegetation that is there, perhaps with a verticut, then adding a black magic application to encourage root knitting and working it into the soil. That is then followed up with the sod, then rolled. In the good old days, before pesticides became an issue, all sodding firms, including Tendershoots, would simply come along with an inexpensive vegetation killer such as Roundup and with one spray kill all of the vegetation. Now, with the pesticide issue, that is generally not practical. In many instances, the high cost doesn't justify the benefit. But in those cases where weeds are especially prolific, it may be necessary to apply a horticultural vinegar acetic acid blend. In the next step, we apply a special version of our proprietary black magic. Successful knitting of the sod relies on the root system having access to a myriad of both macro and micronutrients. While the standard method is to apply a high phosphorus fertilizer, which is terrible for the environment and has none of the other nutrients, our black magic does it all without phosphorus by enabling the plants to uptake all of the nutrients they need from the soil without the need to add more. Our technician will then make several passes with the verticutter. As the name implies, a verticutter has a set of tines that are straight, vertical, and cut slits into the soil. By going over the property 2 or 3 times, the effect is to work the black magic into the soil and to totally shred any vegetation. It also has the effect of leveling off minor bumps or ruts and makes a nice soft bed for the new sod to knit into. Then of course, there's the sod itself. We start with the absolute best. No faults and fully fed. And importantly, no grubs. Our technicians are all seasoned professionals, so the application itself is professionally done, with proper trimming around trees and flower beds. Some companies may skip the process of rolling the sod after it has been applied, but that can often lead to poor knitting. And that in turn leads to some of the sod dying off. The purpose of rolling with a good heavy roller is to minimize the occurrence of air pockets between the sod's root system and the soil. The fewer the air pockets, the better the end result. A homeowner must do his part. For the first 2 to 3 weeks or so, your most critical job is to water heavily. How much and for how long? Well, the best way to know for sure is to check it out every few days. It is crucial that the interface between the new sod and the soil is kept wet, since that is where all the action takes place. By simply lifting a corner of a few pieces, you can see if knitting has begun. If the corner lifts easily, keep watering. If you feel even a small resistance, it means that knitting has begun. Don't pull on it. Continue to water heavily for a few more days, then revert to normal watering practices. Be careful when mowing that you don't overly disturb the new turf. But once the sod has been properly knitted, you can carry on as with any lawn.